Well, what a great place. The great hall of the Union Station, City of Chicago, State of Illinois, USA. And this has been a very special place for, well, 85 years. It was completed in May of 1925, and our family knows about that because my grandfather helped build this wonderful edifice, this structure, this place where people come together. And we anticipate lots and lots of people coming together right here at the Great Hall of Union Station. We're announcing today a $40 million investment, private investment made to improve the Union Station and the Great Hall. And because we know there's going to be lots and lots of people coming through these doors and all these terminals, our rail is going strong in Illinois. We're very, very fortunate to have so many rail lines crisscrossing Illinois, not only for freight, which is very, very important, but also for passengers. We've had very, very good and strong growth in ridership on all of our train lines, our Amtrak lines. They're very, very important to many families in Illinois to get to school, to get to work, to get to vacations, and we want to increase that. And we were lucky, I think, very fortunate indeed, to receive an enormous amount of money from the federal government to build a high-speed rail network all across the Midwest with Chicago and Illinois as the center. Literally over $2 billion has been invested by the federal government. In the very first line that we're working on right now is Chicago to St. Louis. I was down in Alton a week or two ago, and we had the groundbreaking for the high-speed rail that will get fast trains going from Chicago to St. Louis and back. And we anticipate further growth, Chicago to Milwaukee, on to Madison, Chicago to Detroit, and many other cities in the Midwest.
Indeed, we're here in Chicago today at the crossroads of our national rail network. And this renovation will help with our investment in the vision of high-speed rail here in the Midwest. We had a conference in Chicago about a year ago where the governors of the Midwestern states, along with Mayor Daley and Governor Quinn, convened, and we began to talk about high-speed rail here in the Midwest. And we reached an agreement among ourselves that we would all work together for high-speed rail here in the Midwest. And as a result of that agreement, we in Illinois were able to capture $1.23 billion in federal funding so that we could go forward with our part of the high-speed rail between St. Louis and Chicago. We also have $133 million that are going to go to the construction of a new rail overpass at 63rd and State on Chicago's south side, the Englewood flyover. We broke ground on that project last winter. We have a construction of the first 90-mile segment of the Chicago to St. Louis line now underway. Governor Quinn mentioned that earlier. We were the first state to actually break ground on a high-speed rail corridor in the United States. So not only did we receive a significant amount of money, but we already have construction underway in the southern part of our state. We have $1.2 million we're going to use for environmental study on the second track as well. And beyond high-speed rail, we're also working to have more conventional rail go from Chicago to Rockford and Chicago to the Quad Cities, and then eventually on out to Iowa and beyond.
My name is Frank Tverdik. I'm general manager here at Union Station. The routing of Chicago as a hub is key, but there's two parts to transportation. Sure, we need the rail, and we need the equipment to move the folks, but also when the people are here, we need to have a respectable facility and a good, clean, efficient way for them to access those trains and the other modes of transportation in the area. So just quickly stepping through this, you may not recognize this entry right here, but this is on the east side of Canal Street. Right now there's only a small canopy over the entrance there. That's our main entrance for Amtrak passengers. The concept here, as you see, is to extend a canopy across the entire width of the property here, protecting the passengers from the elements as they come in to get their trains. Over time, if you have found yourself in the station, you'll see every afternoon we are really overfilled here. When it comes to coach boarding, this area right here depicts the way the facility is laid out now. In the yellow is coach boarding, is this purple color is the first class lounge. Now, every afternoon, you will find people sitting on the floor. It's so densely packed into here. The concept here is fairly simple. We'll take the first class lounge, move it to this area right behind you here, underneath the famous untouchable stairs, if you will. And what that'll do is it'll free up a lot of space here. We'll be able to increase our coach seating by over 400 seats. So that'll be definitely well received. Now, as some of you who may be commuters are certainly familiar, if you come into the station, you need to use a restroom. Right now, our restrooms, there's long lines queuing out into the hallway. Kind of a mundane project, but we're going to take some secondary boarding lounge over here for Lounge G, and we're converting that to restrooms as well. That'll take some pressure off our coach restrooms, and it'll allow for a much more friendlier access for commuters here at the station.
This is great for our tourism. We want to encourage people to visit Illinois, all parts of Illinois. Chicago is fine, and there's many things to see, but downstate Illinois has many opportunities for families to have fun and learn something. So this is very important investment to make sure that Union Station is 21st century ready. And it is. We're going to make sure that it is, because the investment that we're talking about today, $40 million, will create 100 construction jobs. That's part of getting our economy back on track. When people have the opportunity to work, roll up their sleeves, build and rebuild, this is part of getting the economy back on track. These are good middle-class jobs that pay a good wage.